Welcome back. Big changes could be coming to the Glens Falls School District in the near future, from a possible merger to managing rising costs and balancing educational priorities. As the district looks to the future, they want you to be a part of the conversation. And here to tell us more about a district-wide forum coming up this week is Superintendent Paul Jenkins. We appreciate you stopping by, sir, as you do with a lot of these events, keeping the public informed with what's going on at the district. A lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
You've got this budgeting forum coming up tomorrow night, Crandall Library, downtown Glens Falls. Talk to me about this process, getting people involved.
Our budgeting process usually starts in January and goes through early April when the board will adopt the budget. This year it's a little different because the A wing voters will be voting on a consolidation, whether or not the two school districts will consolidate. That vote will happen March 13th. So in the meantime, we're putting together two budget scenarios, a budget A if the two schools consolidate and a budget B if it's just the Glens Falls City School District, and that's why we're having that forum tomorrow night.
Of course, if you're watching Look News and some of the other parts of our area, and folks that aren't familiar, the city of Glens Falls has two school districts.
Correct.
The high school, middle school, and the elementary schools that come under your district, and then an independent school, which is the Abraham Wing School, which is just an elementary.
It's an elementary school K to 6,
okay.
And then their students 7 through 12 come to our middle school and high school. They're tuitioned in.
Okay, so the talk is that the two schools could merge depending on if votes go the way of a consolidation plan.
Correct.
Talk to me about Plan A and Plan B. How do they look different? If you're adding this new school into the system, is that going to cost you more money, or is it more favorable because the state now is looking at Glens Falls as one district?
Well, the A-wing school building will remain as an elementary school, so it'll be similar to having 4 elementary schools again. But one of the biggest incentives for this is that the state gives districts extra aid on top of what we regularly get to consolidate, and that's about $27 million over 14 years. So if we were to consolidate next year, we're looking at about another $2.8 million in aid.
Which seems to make sense as we're trying to tighten our belts, and we're as school districts are looking to keep money coming to fund different programs. Right. Are you getting a feeling from folks that this is now something that they're looking for? I know obviously you're very invested in this, and for a long time the Abraham Wing School District has resisted becoming a part of the Glens Falls District. Is there a sea change coming where folks think this is a smart idea? We're trying to point out all of the things that will be beneficial. One of the difficult pieces of this is that the tax rate in the A-wing district would go up, and that's part of the reason for the incentive aid from the state. We'll be able to reduce some of that burden because right now the two tax rates for the two school districts are so different. Okay.
A-wings is lower. In one of the pieces with the aid that we have is that we'll be able to offset some of those taxes, but we'll also be able to infuse some funds into the programs that we have for our students, 7 through 12 as well, or K through 12. And right now with school districts looking at insolvency, decreasing revenues and increasing expenses, it's going to be very difficult in the next few years for a number of school districts. And I think for our students citywide, this would be beneficial for years to come.
Yeah, you've been at this for a while, so you're looking at the budget year after year, and it seems that there's always a little less money, and now you are deciding where that money should be spent so that the kids of the Glens Falls School District are getting the best education. How important is it to have the parents involved in this process?
It's extremely important. That's why we want to have this forum tomorrow night. We want residents from both Glens Falls and Abe-Wing to come, and we want to talk about the future of our schools and where we want to see things in the next few years. We also want to talk about the consolidation. We want to talk about the budget, so we're looking for input from everyone.
What's the next step after you get the input from everybody at this meeting? Where does that information then go?
The next step will be we have regular budget meetings through the month of March, every Thursday in March, and we'll be developing those the budgets. After the 13th, after the vote, we'll know whether or not we're going to build a consolidated budget or just the budget for Glens Falls City School District. If the consolidation vote is positive, if it goes through, then the Glens Falls City School District Board of Education would adopt the consolidation as well.
Okay.
And then we'd move forward with the consolidated.
A lot of things happening over the coming months for the district, and kind of exciting either way for the future of education here. Well, we appreciate you stopping by. Folks often complain that their schools spend too much money or they're not involved in the process, and you've proven time and time again that the Glens Falls School District is really reaching out to people out there.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And you did a great job with the weather.
Thank you.
Where was that clipper from?
Alberta.
Okay.
I have to admit, I watched the Weather Channel a little bit last night. So we should have had you do it. Maybe
I
we should
could have.
come back.
Sure.
All right. I think
Guest
that's a good
weather.
idea. Maybe we could get some of the students involved. There's probably some budding broadcasters over at Glens Falls Schools.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll set that up. Paul Jenkins, Superintendent of Glens Falls School and news critic as well.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. The Community Budget Forum is Wednesday night, 7 p.m. at Crandall Public Library. It's located in downtown Glens Falls. To find out more about the meeting and also the Glens Falls School District, we've posted all that information on our website. It's looktvonline.com.